How are you?
Good. How you guys doing?
I just keep every time I see him, like, did he grow? You're taller. You're bigger.
No, not taller, but bigger.
But you did. You put on muscle mass for sure.
Taking my
How's the gear feel? How's the gear feel?
It's a little tight.
Is
It's a rash guard, though, right?
Yeah, it was extremely tight.
I saw a couple of girls that didn't mind. They weren't mad at you, though, is what I'm saying.
How's it feel? Okay, training camp and getting ready for waiting tomorrow, fighting on Saturday. You good? Getting closer.
Yeah, it feels great. I'm glad to be done. It's been a great camp. By far the most organized camp I've had. Very structured, a lot of hard work, and I'm just excited to get in there and to do when I signed the contract to do really.
Any specific, any different that you have made in this training camp?
No real differences. No, I think I've worked a lot harder. I've taken my diet a lot more serious, and I'm focused on my grappling aspect a little bit stronger in this fight. But I feel sharp all across the board.
John, is this how much bigger are you for this camp than you were for the Rampage camp?
I feel a lot healthier. I don't know how much bigger I am right now because I'm cutting weight, but I definitely feel a lot healthier. I know we do a lot of cardio tests at Jackson's. I won't call it the Tapithus. It's like an incline sprint that we do on the treadmill, and I bumped it up from doing 15 incline 7 speed to 15 incline 8 speed, which is a big jump. And then we do a lot of mountain running, and this time I was pretty much finishing first and pushing it a lot harder than I was in the past. So I know my endurance and strength and general health is a lot better than it used to be.
But are you still in the weight room the same way?
Oh, definitely. I put up some pretty big numbers before I left. I was benching 275, squatting 315, and it wasn't all about benching and squatting and things like that, but considering the fact that we focus more on muscle endurance and lighter weights, high reps, it was good to blast out a little heavier weight for me.
And how will that help you against Rashad?
It'll help me out a lot. I think in the past, one of Rashad's main advantages was that he was just a lot more seasoned and he was a lot more strong than I was. When I first joined the UFC, I never really cut weight. I came in extremely thin, walking around at around maybe 213, 210. And now, I walk around at almost 230 at times, and I'm just a lot more mature in my body and my physical strength. So I think that's going to be a huge, huge difference for him, and he'll feel it right away.
How are emotions running right now?
My emotions feel great. I feel very great, very calm, very just in tune with the mission. I feel great. I feel right on track.
Some people give Evans a chance because he trained with you, but that's a...
Hey, ladies first.
I'm sorry.
What will you do tonight to be ready for the win tomorrow, for the last face-to-face?
Well, tonight we have a coaches meeting, and we have a pretty big table at the suite they gave us at the hotel, so I'm going to have all my coaches come together, and we're going to watch a lot of footage and just kind of make sure we're all on the same exact page. More mental training.
Some people give Evans a chance because he trained with you, but that's a two-way street. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm glad that people are starting to finally realize that it's a two-way street. Evans training with me, it requires 2 bodies and 2 minds. So everything that Evans learned from training with me, I learned just as much. We spend equal amount of time touching each other. So I know that sounds terrible, but I'm just as prepared. I really don't give him any advantage for training with me before.
Did you ever choke him or submit him or vice versa?
We had great training practices. Sometimes he'd do better than I. Sometimes I do better than him. But the past is the past. It's been over a year. I feel as if I'm a completely different fighter. Only getting better and faster and stronger at martial arts. And I think Evans is getting a little older. And he's changing his game, but I've increased a lot, and I know that for a fact.
What advantage do you think you have over him in this fight?
Advantage? I think my cardio will be a huge advantage. I haven't gotten tired and in any of my fights except for the Stephan Bonner fight. So my cardio will be a big advantage, I think. And I think we're equal in speed, honestly, with hands and especially kicks. Very, very equal in speed. I think wrestling is going to be awesome to see. I've been working very extensively with my wrestling, and I feel good. I think any advantage he may have, it could possibly be in the grappling department. I don't know. It used to be in the grappling department, but we'll have to see how far my improvements have taken me.
So you mentioned that speed, you think you're equal to him, but speed is really one of his defining features of his game, particularly level changing and wrestling. Do you feel like you're right on par with him right there?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, if I watch my fights, you know, I think there's a lot of things that I do really well, and there's a lot of things that people look past in my fights. You know, I think the biggest thing is my intelligence. I think that's totally looked past, yeah, I totally have speed.
You think your fight IQ is underrated?
Yeah, I think a lot of people think because I'm long, that makes me win, and it's kind of silly.
There's been so much pre-fight talk, but how much has that inspired you? Because it does appear that this is the first time you're fighting somebody with whom you have a bit of a genuine beef.
Yeah, you know, it inspires me, definitely. You know, to some degree it doesn't affect me because I always, you know, block it out when it's time to go to work and to get in the gym and, you know, do what I'm here to do, train and win. But at the same time, you know, yeah, it totally inspires me. It does. It gets me in the gym when I'm exhausted. And that's huge.
Could you do that again? Could you fight someone else and go through all of this pre-fight stuff all over again, as exhausting as it's been?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. You know, I feel like I was just here answering questions about Rampage not too long ago. So I can totally do it again. If it's a part of the job and it's what I do for a living, it's just what I do for a living, and I embrace every aspect.
Was there ever a point where Rashad did get in your head? It seemed like early on, particularly in that Comcast Sportsnet South appearance, he seemed to rattle you just a little bit with, you know, his character assassination, and maybe the tides have turned since then, but was there ever any point where he got into your head?
You know, maybe he did, maybe he didn't, I don't know, but, you know, I think he insulted me way too early in the training camp. You know, it was like I've had several weeks and weeks and weeks to think about what was said and think about a lot of things, and, you know, if anything, you know, him calling me fake and cocky has made me a lot more comfortable with who I am as a person, and, you know, it's just like, I truly believe that only God can judge me, and another man calling me fake or cocky, it doesn't hold too much weight for me. So.
This is your job. It is what you do. You're now sponsored by your boss. How do you feel about that sponsorship and people's criticism of it, saying it shows favoritism or it just is a little odd for the UFC to sponsor one particular fighter?
You know, have they done this before with anyone?
No.
I don't think so.
No?
They might do it with somebody else, but you're the first.
Yeah, I thought they had done it before with someone else, but it's.
They did?
I think maybe GSP. They sponsored GSP a long time ago. I don't know.
There was one other person.
Maybe.
I don't know, but it's a great honor. It's a great honor, and you know, I work really hard. I try to be a great company guy. I do what they ask me to do. I try to represent the sport in the best light as possible, and I'm honored that they've sponsored me. And for the critics, you know, I think that's something that's being directed more towards the UFC. They're really getting no criticism about it. On my end, I'm just truly honored.
If you were to seal a deal with Nike, what would that mean? Because certainly when you're talking Nike, that's household name.
Yeah, you know, it would be a blessing. It's been something that's been on my vision board for many years, and something that I believe will come true as long as I continue to be a decent young man and to continue to win. I believe it'll come true. So.
Are you keeping the beard for Saturday?
Not saying.
Why did you grow it?
You know, I just thought I'd do something different, and you know, I actually started growing this beard when I came to Jackson's the first day of camp, and this is what I've come up with.
It's like a playoff beard, then, right?
Yeah, it's something like a playoff beard. Yeah. So I'm not sure if I'm gonna wait till after the fight to shave it or before. I haven't quite made up my mind, but I love it. It symbolizes my hard work.
Who's gonna win the Stanley Cup this year?
I don't know. I have no clue. I have no clue who's playing in it. Yeah.
Hey, your brother is actually entering the NFL draft. Mel Kiper's picked him to go 18th to, I believe, the Chargers. Does he have any preference about where he wants to go?
No, he doesn't. You know, any team that wants him, he'd be honored to be on the league. You know, so being in the NFL is a dream for a lot of kids across the country, and he realizes that, and he's grateful wherever he lays his nest.
But no East Coast preference. You're from New York. Your brother plays for Baltimore. Maybe a little bit Mid-Atlantic love. I don't know. What?
No, you know, no preference whatsoever. Knowing Chandler, he would probably want to be somewhere where it's warm. But who knows? Who knows?
Are you going to be there on draft night?
Yeah, I'll absolutely be there on draft day. It's going to be a wonderful day for the family, and yeah, we'll all be very happy, very grateful.
Cool. Congratulations.
Congrats.